The main characters are Leo and Paige, young husband and wife. One winter evening, they return from a date. The couple rides in the car, listening to music and enjoying each other's company. Leo and Paige are thinking about having a baby. They are unaware that in a few moments their lives will change forever. Suddenly, a truck crashes into the couple's car, which did not have time to slow down on a snowy road. They were lucky to stay alive after the accident. We fast forward 4 years into Leo's memories. Then he and Paige had just met. They met in the parking lot. Paige forgot her parking ticket, and Leo gave it to the girl. There was an immediate affection between them. Paige was an art student at the time and was working as a waitress at a local coffee shop. Leo begins courting Paige. The girl reciprocates, and they become a couple. In parallel, the film shows the time after the accident. Couple in the hospital. Leo has minor injuries. Paige has a serious brain injury. The girl is in a coma. Leo spends a lot of time at Paige's bedside waiting for her to wake up. Leo reminisces about happy moments with Paige. First, about how he offered her to live together. Then, as a couple, having gathered friends, played a wedding in a museum without permission. The ceremony was a bit of a joke. Beloved wrote their vows on the menu of the cafe where Paige worked. When the wedding was over, they were noticed by the museum guards. The newlyweds and guests of the holiday had to flee. Leo's vivid memory is the evening he visited Paige in the workshop. The girl worked on the sculpture until late, turning on loud music. Paige did not like the result of the work. She doubted her abilities. Leo noticed that the girl was upset. He wanted to support her. Leo saw the table where Paige was kneading clay. Mistaking the shapeless mass for a sculpture, he began to praise it and tried to make out the details. Paige took it with tenderness and showed Leo her work. She said Leo was a lovesick fool.
You totally love me.
The couple were overwhelmed with feelings. They spent the night together. In Leo's memory, this night is a moment of absolute love. In the ward, Paige finally woke up. She is conscious and feels fine. However, there is a serious consequence of the injury. The girl does not remember the last few years of her life. Paige does not recognize Leo and has no memory of their marriage. She talks to him like a stranger. Also, Paige does not remember that he is studying at an art college and working as a sculptor. Leo continues to treat the girl as a close person and hopes for the return of memory. One day, he rushes to visit Paige in the hospital and does not find her in the ward. The nurse reports that the girl was transferred to an elite ward. There, Leo meets Paige's parents, whom he doesn't know. The girl stopped communicating with her family due to disagreements long before meeting him. Paige is about to be released from the hospital. The doctor recommends that she return to her former life. Leo says that Paige's usual life is next to him. The girl's parents are against life with her husband because for her Leo is like a stranger. It's hard for Paige to hear about a life she doesn't remember. The girl reminisces about studying to be a lawyer and being engaged to her ex-boyfriend, Jeremy. Back at home, Leo looks for evidence of a relationship with her to provide to Paige. The next day, Leo finds Paige in the doctor's office. Her parents are going to take her home. To convince the girl to stay with him, Leo includes a voice message recorded by Paige before the accident as proof of their life together. Listening to the recording, the girl realizes that she was happy at that moment. Leo says she quit law school, broke off her engagement and moved to the city. Paige's parents are extremely unhappy. They did not want the girl to remember the period when she decided to radically change her life. Paige decides to stay with Leo. At home, they are met by a huge number of friends. For Paige, this is a lot of stress. She does not remember anyone. Leo and Paige fight. The guy feels guilty and asks for forgiveness.
Paige, I'm sorry.
Paige settles into the house with Leo. He tells the girl about his life and work in the recording studio. She asks about her daily routine. Leo says that Paige makes coffee in the morning, then checks the mail, and then works in the studio. When he leaves for work, the girl examines everything in the house. She finds a videotape from her and Leo's wedding. Paige notices that the vows are written on the cafe menu. She goes to the city to visit this cafe, leaving her phone at home. On the way back home, the girl gets lost. She doesn't have a phone with the numbers written down, so she can't call Leo. At this time, the guy returns from work to check if Paige is okay. He does not find her at home and goes in search of her. Paige remembers her mother's number and asks a passerby to call. She spends the day with her mother. In the evening, Leo meets Paige very excited. She talks about what happened. Paige's parents invite her and Leo to a family dinner. With them at the table are Paige's sister, Gwen, and her fiancé Ryan. Paige's father raises a toast to the family and tells them how much he appreciates them. He asks Leo about his family. He says that his parents are no longer alive. Paige's mom asks Leo about work. He says he owns a recording studio. Leo turned his hobby, music, into a business. He talks about the work with enthusiasm, but the Paige family does not share the interest.
Wow.
After dinner, Leo, Paige, Gwen and Ryan go to an expensive club for a party. There, Paige meets her school friends, as well as her ex-fiancé Jeremy. It seems to her that she is still engaged to Jeremy, because the girl does not remember the breakup. Paige flirts with him. In this company, Leo feels superfluous. The next day, Paige visits Jeremy at his office. Paige came to find out what happened between them. Jeremy says that the girl broke up with him and decided to change her life. At the meeting, Paige acts like they're in a relationship. Jeremy flirts back even though he's dating another girl. In parting, Paige kisses Jeremy on the lips. Back at home, Paige arranges her photographs on the table, trying to remember the moments in order. She wants to understand at what point her memories disappeared. The girl realizes her last memory before the accident. She is in a restaurant, asking the waiter if they have fried ravioli, but she does not remember the answer. Paige tells Leo that she's ready to see her art studio. When she sees the sculptures, she does not believe that she created them and thinks that she will not be able to repeat anything. Leo turns on music for her, remembering that it used to help the girl immerse herself in creativity, but loud sounds infuriate Paige. She yells at Leo and asks to turn off the music. He is angry. The guy tries to help Paige get back to her old life, and she breaks down on him. Leo leaves. Gwen is getting married soon. Paige's parents convince Paige to move into their house to help her sister prepare for the holiday. Therefore, Paige cancels orders for the production of sculptures due to memory loss. Paige comes in for a checkup at the hospital. The doctor says that the girl's health is almost normal. However, both the doctor and the patient are concerned that the memory is not restored. The girl's mother does not worry about the lack of memory. She is glad that Paige has become the way she used to be. The doctor asks the girl to talk alone. It turns out that Paige is subconsciously afraid to remember the past. The doctor advises the girl to try to fill in the gaps in her memory, regardless of whether she likes the memories. Gwen and Ryan are having an engagement party. Leo decides to win Paige's love again. He invites her on a date. She agrees, and he offers to give them a tour of their past. Leo and Paige visit the restaurant where they first dined 4 years ago, and then take a dip in the lake, an old tradition. Returning home, emotions flooded the girl. She likes Leo, but she doubts. Despite a successful date, she does not call him again. Her father gives Paige the opportunity to resume her studies at law school. She agrees, because she believes that she is given a chance to fix the past. Ryan and Gwen's wedding is coming up, a lavish ceremony with many guests. In the evening, after the official part, Paige's father approaches Leo for a conversation. He insists on Leo and Paige's divorce, stating that it will be better for his daughter. The girl's father even tries to bribe him by offering to pay business bills. Leo is amazed by this attitude. He calls Paige's father a hypocrite because he, repeating the value of the family, has not tried to improve relations with his daughter for many years. Leo sits away from the guests. Jeremy approaches him. He hints that Leo is superfluous at the wedding. Tension grows between them as both are in love with Paige. Jeremy gloats that Leo and Paige are not getting along. Leo realizes that Jeremy is still in love with her. He advises Jeremy not to try to rekindle a relationship with Paige, because the girl has long outgrown him. Jeremy is hurt by this. He replies that he will consider this advice in bed with Paige. For Leo, this phrase was excessive. He loses his temper and punches Jeremy in the face. The attention of all guests is riveted to them. Paige and Leo fight and he walks out of the wedding.
How do you look at the girl you love and tell yourself it's time to walk away?
Leo realized that he had not achieved reciprocity from the girl. Leo returns to his studio depressed. He remembers how Paige once fell in love with him. Then it took her only 2 weeks. The guy concludes that Paige does not love him.
She doesn't love me.
After a while, he signs the divorce papers. One day, Paige meets her longtime friend Diane, with whom her family has stopped communicating. Diane reveals that she had a relationship with Paige's father. It turned out that the whole family of the girl knew about her father's betrayal, but no one told her. Everyone justified this by fear of losing Paige again. The girl finds it hard to believe what is happening. She feels deceived and realizes that she still cannot live. Paige met with Jeremy. He reveals that he is no longer with his girlfriend and invites Paige to date. She refuses and says that she has already understood how it is to be with him. Now she wants to be without him and understand who she really is. During lectures at the legal, Paige draws sketches. After class, her father asks her about her studies. The girl replies that she decided to quit law school and will rent an apartment in the city because she wants to be her real self. Parents are afraid of losing her again, so they support the decision. Paige returns to sculpting. 6 months later, she paints the nursery at Ryan and Gwen's house. Leo returned to work in the recording studio. He rethought the moments of the past and realized that everything happened as it should have happened. One day, Paige finds the menu of a cafe where she once worked as a waitress. On it is written her oath of love and loyalty to Leo. She goes to this cafe. At the same time, Leo goes there. They meet at the entrance and share what is happening in everyone's life. Leo is very happy that Paige has returned to art. The girl thanks him for helping to understand what she really is. Paige invites Leo to a restaurant where they once had dinner. Leo wonders how Paige knows about this place, because her memory never returned. Paige explains that she learned a lot about life with Leo through a mutual friend with whom she rekindled her relationship. Leo agrees to spend the evening together, but invites Paige to go to a place they've never been.
What would you say to trying some place that we haven't been to before? Someplace new.
I like that.
In the real story, the couple who inspired the film are happily married and have 2 children.